switch over to making a little tier list. This is something I've been thinking of doing for not too long, for a little bit. But I want to make a little tier list of all the Genshin demos, character demos. So I actually have here, somebody put together one long video with all the Japanese voiced character demos, at least up through Raiden Shogun. But first, let me start by just filling out characters who do not... Oh, no, she has a character demo. Who do not have character demos. Klee has one. Lisa sadly doesn't have one. Traveler obviously doesn't have one. Ningguang doesn't have one. Noelle. Razor. Sucrose. And these are all... Wait. Kazuha... Wait, there's 2 Kazuhas? What's up with that? I don't quite get how they made this tier list thingy. But, okay. But, I don't know how this is ordered, but let's try just going with, start from left to right. So we got Albedo, which, if we look at Albedo, it's this one. Let's see, I hope the audio levels are good. I've already watched this in English, or I've watched all of them in English, and as well as Japanese subtitled, I think, so I'm gonna just stick with Japanese and don't worry about the actual voice. So this is Albedo's. I'd forgotten it starts with him at the furnace and talking about Sucrose and Timaeus. So we see his auto attacks. So I like his music, but it's not like a banger like a lot of the other ones. Well, not a lot. A few of the character demo music is really good. I like Albedo's, but maybe not as much as some of the others. It has a good electronic feeling. Never heard any of them in English? I mean, I'd say they vary in quality, but they're generally good. And I like the Klee, inclusion of Klee. And every trailer seems to have this kind of, at least one kind of quiet moment. And so here he's talking about alchemy, creating life and such. We see his burst, as well as his E, I guess. And a very good finish. Okay, so for me, that's pretty good. Also, this ranking was originally went from A to D, but I figured I'll just shift everything up by 2, because there's no D or even C level character demo in there, not in my opinion. So Albedo was hovering between an S and a double S, but after watching it again, I think I'll give him a double S there. Because, yeah, I think if we're kind of taking it on a graded scale or weighted scale, maybe something like that, S is going to be the average here. That's the goal. I think it's a little bit better than average. All right, next is Ayaka. And Ayaka, I'm pretty sure I know where that's going to end up. But let's just watch it again because it's a damn good trailer. It's a damn good demo. All deserve. Yeah, so many of them feel like they deserve at least an S. It's gonna be hard. I'm wondering how it's gonna get. end up. I like that. Oh, I just noticed the shape of her sword. I believe that's the Amenoma Kageuchi or something. But I like how this whole trailer, there's a... Also, this one has one of the best swipes out of any of them, where we see her fan go over her face. And at the beginning she talks about how you have to strike so swiftly it cannot be parried. And then we see the demonstration from in the trailer. And the music here is just, it's a banger. It's fantastic. It's absolutely one of the best tracks in a game that already has incredible tracks. Her brother will have a similar trailer. Yeah, I wonder. We'll see. Because her brother's not a fan favorite like Ayaka was. Ayaka, I feel like, was talked about ever since the beta. Ayato's got people liking him because of lore reasons, I guess, but nobody's seen him yet. But I'm looking forward to at least seeing Shenhe and Yunjin's demos. Oh, this guy's Japanese voice is quite different from the English one. Okay, yeah, that is just fantastic, but I just kind of want to go back to... I love this section here. I do play in Japanese, but I don't play with Toma, so I don't listen to him in Japanese at all. I've only really seen him in streamers' playthroughs, and they generally play in English. Since... Oh, you mentioned that? Okay, maybe you did. But yeah, he does sound very different. So here, I absolutely love this segment of the trailer. Not here. Well, I mean, I love all of it, but right here, we can see her... I believe this is the end of her auto attack combo. We can see right here at the... It's the finisher, right? She's done a dash through the Mirror Maiden, and by the time we can actually see her, her sword is already in its sheath, and she's just completing sheathing it. She's already 80-90% of the way there to sheathing it. And then we see it 2 more times. They make sure to show it to us 3 times so that we can pay attention. That was the first time. Here's the second, which I'm not sure which attack this is. I think this might be a part of her auto attack combo or a charge attack. But you can see her sword is in the sheath. And the way they transition here, I love it. We're initially in front of her, and then you notice the cut? There's a cut here from the front of her to the back. We can see that's the back of her skirt. And by the time we can actually see what's going on, she's already here again with her sword sheath, and she's sheathing it. And then one final time, just to make sure that we've caught it, we get to see her cutting a sakura petal in half or in quarters, and then yeah, sheathing it. Just absolutely beautiful sequence. So no surprise here, she's going straight to triple S easily. It's her final attack. I see. Okay. Yeah, I remember like playing around with it during the Misty event. Okay, now time for Diona. I actually don't remember her demo very well at all. But I do know that almost all the 4 stars have worse character demos than almost all the 5 stars. Oh, that is nice. That's a nice transition. That is a okay, I like the use of camera angles, the little comic thing. Nice little music, very much Mondstadt. Feels. So I'd say that's pretty solid, but yeah, unfortunately, yeah, the 4 stars I believe have one. Is that what she had? A stringless? But yeah, I believe they're all only about a minute long. Yeah, that's a stringless. So they're shorter and they don't get to show us as much. So I'm gonna give this one an A. Yeah, I'm gonna try to be harsh because it's you know, otherwise everything's just gonna end up with everything's gonna just end up stacked at the top here. Alright, Fischl. I recall Fischl was actually a pretty good one. Yunjin with Dragon's... Oh, right. That was pretty funny. Her giving her an EM weapon. Well, or Diona an EM weapon, right? At least Diona can do EM-based elemental reactions. Oh, I love that. That's a great transition from her 3D model to the 2D image. And the music's perfect. It's got this kind of gothic feel to it. Also, what's the bow that she's using? It kind of looks like a Amos bow, but purple. And I did notice the earlier character demos do tend to show the game in kind of gameplay mode. They just cut out all the UI elements, but the camera angles and everything match the original, the actual gameplay. So that one's hovering between an S and an A for me, but let's give it an S just to, yeah, because I do think it's better than Diona's. Better music, overall better editing, I thought. And yeah, just good feel, yeah. Triple S tier. Yeah, unfortunately the competition in this is very, very stiff. Oh, that's the Favonius bow? Oh. Okay, I don't use the Favonius bow myself, really, so maybe that's why I didn't recognize it. Right, Ganyu. But I might use it on Gorou one day if and when I build him. This one is I will say it's good. So I remember this one fairly well, and it has some incredibly good parts. But I do think it kind of falls short of some of the others. To be honest, this character demo kinda... Oh, that's a nice... Okay, good transition. I like the use of the camera depth of field here. Right here, you can see they're actually messing with the depth of field. As you get closer, it's not just that the camera's getting closer. I don't quite know what this effect is called, but you can see there's some distortion effect happening because her hand here is ginormous. It's as big as... Now, part of it's just the perspective. Her hand's closer, but even so, it shouldn't look quite that big. So there's a bit of a distortion effect they're doing there. And her music it's good, but it's not a banger, I would say. It fits her perfectly, though. But I think Ganyu... Her demo owes a lot just to the fact that her character design is so damn good. Right? Her character design and her voice acting and everything, just her overall tone, really sells it. So, yeah, I remember watching people react to this trailer who didn't know anything about the game, and they were wondering, did Ganyu dream the future? And I do kind of wonder about that. I don't think that's what it's supposed to imply. She was just happened to be dreaming about fighting enemies, and then enemies snuck up on her. And this whole segment, this is the money shot here. This right here. This part really elevates the demo above the others, I think. And we can't forget the ending right here. Easy to miss. An actual in-game animation. Yeah, let's watch this. Yeah, right here. This right here when her burst activates. This whole part, I feel like, is where the trailer designers really pulled out all the stops and they decided to bring it. And they do a more consistent job at that in the later trailers. But this, oh right, oh man, just look at her there. She's so beautiful, and the way they use the double images, her poses, the silhouette, lighting, yeah, it's fantastic. If it had better music, I might give it a triple S, but I'm giving it a double S. But I'll rank it above Albedo actually. I kind of like it more than I like Albedo's. Okay, now we got Hutao. You prefer Albedo's trailer? Okay. I think Albedo's trailer at least has a bit more fancy editing, but I don't think it looks as good. And I don't like the music as much, even though both have good tunes. This one's interesting. It starts off with kind of just, well, not Hutao, right? We initially walk in on these two adventurers, I guess, or treasure hoarders. Again, fantastic transition to the 2D image. And the way they... Okay, there's a whimsiness to this trailer that I absolutely love. Right? It almost feels like it's drawing on some... how do you say it? Like old black and white silent films. I love this section right here. The editing with the music, so good. And then, oh god, I love that. I love how MiHoYo feels so free to try these kind of wacky gimmicks with their trailers. But here, I love this section right here. Just look at the camera work. Look at how it moves as she waves her pole arm. So it's initially you know, kind of stable, horizontal, and then it spins around to her right, as she turns around, and then it spins back around to the left as she spins herself, goes up to follow her hand, and then finally zooms all the way out. And that's her activating her E, I believe. And then here, just the way the music goes with the editing, it's so perfect. Yeah. So this one, it's hovering between a double S and a triple S for me. But I think at the end of the day, I'm gonna be a little harsh and give her double S and place her above Ganyu because I do like her quite a bit. Unfortunately, Jean doesn't have one. Double, yeah. Now we got Kaeya. And we might be in for our first B here, because I remember this trailer fairly well. This is fairly quick. I believe this might have been the very first character demo that they ever released. And they do very little here. We can see all his animations, including jumping, gliding, running, swimming. We can see his frozen attacks, his auto attacks, his E. See him playing with Lisa and Barbara. It's like, yeah, that's basically what a bare minimum character demo is, so that's why I'm giving it a B. I think maybe I could have even given it a C if I had one, but I'll stick with that. More of a trailer for Genshin. Yeah, I guess kind of. Yeah, it's more of a trailer. Well, not quite, because actually, Genshin does have a very good trailer. Genshin 1.0 trailer. The first one is really good, I believe.
Windborn Outlander.
Oh, this is English? Oh well.
On your journey once again, you must remember that the journey itself has meaning.
Defeating that monster might remove this strange wind current seal thingy around the Statue of the Seven.
Trailers for YouTube ads too? Wait, what do you mean? They used some of these trailers for as YouTube ads? Oh, I just noticed there's Beidou there. Oh, and Beidou's hangout event has her going to that village. Oh shit, that's really nice. They were foreshadowing that all the way at this trailer.
So full of rage and suffering.
I will not stand for such impertinence.
To ashes!
I, Fischl, Prinzessin dürfe Ertelang. Eat this!
The music here, very good, and we get to see so many of the characters, effects, world bosses. Remember when all this was new? We were just stumbling upon these bosses randomly. Okay, so this actually isn't the trailer I was thinking of though. Here. So this is a video that I watched originally that has this guy. So this is the announcement trailer. Oh, it's the announcement trailer, that's what it is. So this is quite good. So this was way back in June 2019. Over a year before the game came out. A long time before we knew that 2020 was gonna be a very, very strange year. Even stranger than we would have thought, right? Because we already knew in 2019 that we would have the... Oh, and it's in Chinese too. Because of course, it's a Chinese game. We knew that we'd have a pretty major election in 2020, but we didn't know just how crazy things would be. So this is one of the very first cutscenes in the game, I recall. Yeah, this is like the prologue section. This is a trailer of the prologue, I guess. Oh, I love this segment, this montage of all these combat. Which, this is where they're really introducing the game to us, right? And we can see all these elemental effects. Here's Ayaka. And this is just the prologue, right? It's like, it's so intense. Also, I kind of want to point out, this guy is really astute. Also, his, see. Of course, he doesn't need my help. He's a Twitch partner and everything, but let's just give him credit where it's due. But he's watching this trailer, and this is something I didn't catch the first time I watched it, but he caught it because he's never played the game before.
Hold on. Did the whirlwind that was made of air just catch on fire because it was fire? Hold on. Wow. Oh, the environmental damage. What? Okay.
So I just love that reaction of his, because as a longtime Genshin player, we just take that for granted, right? But it is pretty neat what they did with all that. And as a new player, him just realizing it and seeing that moment of him recognizing, oh shit, this is how the game works. It's very nice. Oh, this music's interesting. Kokusei. I guess Kokusei is how you say it in Japanese. This is, of course, still a relatively early trailer, but I think you can already see that they're kind of playing around with fancier effects. Nice. We get to see the moves, and that's a good transition there. So I believe this one's only a minute long. But one part that I really loved, here. I believe you can't actually do this in the game with the camera, but you can see she uses her E, and then as she teleports, the camera kind of tracks her in kind of a cinematic way. I don't think that quite matches what the camera does in the game when you do the same thing, but I like that effect. Is she the only OG 5-star with the trailer? I think she might be. I'm gonna give her an S. Right around the same level as Fischl, I would say. Oh no, Mona. Mona also has a trailer. So there's Mona, there's Jean doesn't have one, D-Look doesn't have one, and who's the other one? Qiqi. Oh, Qiqi does have one, so 3 out of the 5 do have one. Alright, Klee, I know I'm quite sure... Oh, I'm quite sure I know where this one's gonna end up. But let's just watch it again, because it is delightful. I love how all these words mean nothing. It's such good, again, very good transitions. And here I feel like this is one of the earlier instances where they really did a lot of fancy, maybe not fancy, but like overt effects with a lot of 2D and words. Oh. Oh, and this trailer also has a story, right? It's very basic, but they actually put in a story, unlike a lot of other trailers that they've done before. And again, we do get to see all her moves, as you expected. And the transitions here, very good, right? Just, we get to see her same shot, and everything exploding all around behind her. So, that one I'm giving a triple S, but it is below Ayaka, because it's not quite up there as some of the top ones, but it's very, very good. Very good. Alright. Mona. Mona, just like all the beginning 5 stars who do have a trailer, gets a pretty basic one, but... Oh, let's see. So here we can see that the camera angles that they're going for Some of it feels like in-game cameras, but most of it isn't. So we can see all her moves. And unfortunately, like a lot of the original characters, she doesn't have her own theme music. Yeah, so as a character demo trailer, it's very short, very basic. We see everything that we need to see, but nothing really in terms of transitions. So I'll place it a little bit above Kaeya, but still well in the B range, yeah. Qiqi, I think Qiqi actually, out of all the original 5 stars who do have a trailer, she might have the best one. Or, well, her and Keqing are pretty cool. I like that zoom out shot. We get a pretty good idea of like the lay of the land, right? We get to see the scenery. And she's adorable. Not sure about this tune. I think this might be actually Qiqi specific. But it is the same basic melody as some of the other trailers. Okay. Actually, I think I'll probably place this one below Keqing's. So I'll give it an A. It's a little bit better than Mona's, but not by that much. Right, do they have Childe? Yeah. I don't remember Childe's all that much. But I believe he's writing a letter to his sister in Snezhnaya. And he's talking about Liu. Hey, that's where Ashtaha is. So how come Childe can't do that in gameplay? God, we should have that kind of water surfing. Ooh, that's nice. So I'm noticing that the video quality on this isn't so high, so I'm gonna start looking for the actual ones. So this is clearly a level above the OG 5-star ones. But I will say the editing it's good, but nothing too incredible. The music's good. And the story it's telling it's fine. Ooh, I like that, the way that ended there. So I think I'll give him an S, but stick him there. I think it's still a little bit better than Keqing's, but I overall like the tone and feel of Fischl's a lot better. Yeah. Okay, let's try this. Genshin. What's the character? Venti. Demo. JP. Oh, I think this one's 60 FPS, yeah. Oh, very nice transition. So this is the first Archon, obviously, that they made a trailer for. So you can see that they did put in a bit more work compared to most of the other trailers at the time. But I will say, like this shot right here, it's clearly not something you can do in the game. They used the in-game model, of course, but There's a lot of fancy editing here going on. Oh yeah, like right here, these transitions. And we also, oh, they make sure to give us a good shot of Venti at every different angle too. Yeah. So that we can see what character model that we're pulling for, which makes sense. Alright, nice. But I do love that beginning here, where he's just chilling, and this evil Sisson mage comes and bothers him, and we're like, what's he gonna do? What's going on? And then he just calmly laughs and jumps up, because he is the Animo god, right? He doesn't... This is nothing to him. And it just sets the tone right there of who he is. He's smiling, he's unstressed. He's just fine with it, even though he's being attacked. So yeah, I'm gonna give him a SS, but I'll still place it below Albedo's, because I do think as the trailers went on, the later ones became a lot better, fancier. But this one is clearly, to my eyes, just one above these. Xiangling. Xiangling's an early one. So I think it's probably not going to be the greatest, but let's see. This one's also 60 FPS, I think. Yeah. Only a minute long.
My name is Xiangling.
Oh no, it's
I'm a
English.
chef
Whatever.
of
Let's
Lee
just go with
If
English.
There's nothing better to do. We could go foraging for ingredients. I'm much better at cooking than navigating. But
So
if
this
you
one's
keep
a lot
well,
like the Kaeya
definitely
demo.
take me with
We
you.
see kind of all the
Nice and spicy.
walking around,
Time to
nice,
introduce you to my latest masterpiece.
swimming,
Let's
gliding,
the most
and the
marvelous,
scenery.
multicolored super
And finally we see her auto attacks and her E. And we see the Pyronado. Not very long, unfortunately.
Is there time for a quick snack? I'll whip one up in no time.
Yeah, so unfortunately I think that one's gonna get a B from me. I'll still rank it above Kaeya's. I think it's just a little fancier, but not by much. One of the best characters, possibly the best free-to-play character, but sadly well, because she's free-to-play, I guess it makes sense. She did not get a great much of a trailer. Yeah, Kaeya tier. Indeed. Oh, yeah, I think this... Oh, this is... We're gonna get to hear... What's his name? Kirito. So this one sets the tone right off the bat. We can see this guy is a very edgy character. A lot of darkness. A lot of really cool effects. And the music too is very, what I would call disconcerting. It's not a pleasant tune to listen to. It's a good tune, but it's not a pleasant one. Which I guess fits. His character is all about somebody who deals justice. He's a good guy, but because he is forced to do evil, he suffers due to it. Yeah, and this is, like, this shot, clearly, it's not from the game in any way, right? These are basically, like, interspicing anime, in a way. I think it's still 3D CG, but it's so stylized, and the color filters and everything are so strong that it ends up looking very 2D. Oh, and I love that ending. Well, we're not quite at the end yet, but here. Yeah, this is so gorgeous. Right at the end, it's just the light from the mask that's remaining, right? So we can see if we frame step, all of him and his face and his body disappears. except for the two eyes and a silhouette of the mask. It's yeah, this is fantastic. And also here, because the way it sort of seems to end with this big, slow or fast zoom out, I feel like it fits with the kind of character he is, which is whenever you need help to survive or something, you can call for him, but then he goes away as quickly as he appears. So this one's a close one between double S and triple S, but I think I'll have to place it at double S right below Hutao's. It's actually pretty close. I'm not sure whose is better. They're both really good in their own way, but I would place it just a little before Hutao, because Hutao's is just so much fun, and the camera work is really well done. And I can't stand Xinyan's English voice, so I'm glad we got the Japanese one. Xinyan tier next, indeed. So this one also has a very basic story, I see. That Xinyan's just joining the Traveler to go on a sort of tour of her music. But in the meanwhile, we get to see her actually do combat. Unfortunately, I feel like there's a little too much of the Traveler here, not enough of her. But I do like that effect right there. Yeah, it fits her really well. And I think this point here, that really helps sell this thing. It fits too, because it kind of brings to mind like a music video or speakers. The speakers, when you remove the grill at the front, often looks a bit like a set of grids, kind of like this. So it's channeling those things. So I'll give her a B above Qiqi, maybe below. It's close. If you're in the game only a year later, yeah, it'll only take a year. But we will get to hear her. Unfortunately, she plays the exact same piece of music every time, or both times. Alright, so we got Zhongli. We already know where he's gonna land, but let's watch it again, because it is fantastic.
それは書物に記されたかつての理由へのことです。海は妖魔に侵され、山は水地。
I also like how this guy is actually a recurring character in the game too. You can talk to him for some commissions, I believe.
伝説によりますと、ケイ君がその時に放った言葉は。
Oh god, that's still this trailer is so good. I feel like this trailer is the one where they really stepped it up a notch, and then they kept it up for the most part since, but this is so good. The music, in fitting in with his whole style of being this ancient god, the oldest god, who's been around forever. It feels traditional, and he has a very strong sense of elegance and nobility, which fits. And then these transitions here, man. Oh god, they're like ink splotches, right? I think it's meant to evoke calligraphy, Chinese calligraphy. And then the trap beat right here, man. This shit is so good. I'm not sure if this is where they first used the trap beat in Genshin music, but it's one of the earlier cases, I think, and it's really good. And maybe the strongest character in the game, indeed. Fittingly enough, right? So yeah, right now, easily he's better than even Ayaka. Like, it's actually not that far off, but he is clearly better. Like, he is the best trailer here so far. Okay, we got Rosaria. Oh shit. It would help if I spelled it right. The number 1. So I'm pretty sure he's gonna be in the top 3, but I don't think he's gonna be number 1. So I kind of like this trailer. It has this continuity of constantly rotating around Rosaria, and the camera keeps moving. They used this effect a few times in Diona's trailer, and so the camera's never stationary. It keeps moving. Ooh, nice. So here, yeah, even though she's a 4-star, they did give her a pretty good treatment. The trailer is only a minute long, so it's limited in how much it can show, but what they do show here... Nice. So yeah, that was good, but I'd forgotten about this segment. And it's fairly straight, like pretty simple. The first half, we just sort of see her being introduced as a member of the church. And then second half, we see her actually doing her work as essentially an assassin for the church. Also, I don't know what spear she has. I'm guessing that's the Dragon Spine spear. But yeah, this kind of montage here with her, I did not remember this from her trailer, and it's a nice touch. It helps bring it up a bit. So let's give her an S rank for that. Maybe even better than Keqing's. Yeah, I think it's better than Keqing's and Tartaglia's. Now her, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a triple S because it is gorgeous, but it's gonna hover somewhere between a triple S and a double S. And there's a lot of focus on the footwork on this trailer, I noticed. Now, as somebody who doesn't know much about dancing, it doesn't really capture me that much, but when I do see her dancing, it's quite gorgeous. And now this moment really makes it for me. We see her, this is just perfect transition. We see her dancing on the beach. You're doing some spins, and the spin transitions to this black area, right? And then as she keeps spinning, you see the spotlights on her. There's 2 because you can see the 2 shadows. And then as she's doing the dance move, it transitions into her 2D art. And from there, it transitions to the actual character demo, but it does it through a swipe. Which, how often do you see swipes these days in movies? It's so uncommon, but it fits so well because her moveset, her whole style is all about spinning and transitioning from one part to the other. So you see her act as the spinning transition from that 2D to this actual character demo. Quadruple S in your heart? Yeah, you can't be unbiased on that, right? Also, this here, this is kind of gratuitous. This using the puddle reflection, but so fitting for her overall aesthetic. Just, I don't know, it works so well. And the blending of the moves with these shots of her dancing by herself in this black area. And actually, yeah, somebody pointed it out that when she does this move, this is a move that she does in her auto attack combo. She has her eyes closed, right? So there's this sense that she is so relaxed, so calm, that she is just dancing around her enemies, and they can't touch her. She is so far above her enemies that she doesn't even bother opening her eyes when she's doing this move. She's that relaxed. And then these more dance moves that we don't see in the actual game. And then the final finisher.
私はただエウラが心配で。それじゃ罪人と一曲踊ってくれる？
Now, of course, they're clearly just trying to sell the character, right? There's a reason why we get to see it from Amber's first-person perspective, and she's reaching her hand out, almost like she's reaching out through the computer monitor, saying, "Hey, don't you want to spend money on Genesis crystals so you can pull me? Don't you want to pull me? Pull me, please, pull me." That's what she's saying. It's a well-designed advertisement and a fantastic trailer. After watching it again, I think I'll have to place it above Klee's, actually. Klee's is fun, but Eula's is beautiful. And yeah, of course you did. Indeed. It won you over. Yanfei. Another 4-star. Oh, right. And the Japanese voice for her, too, is very different from the English one. I love what they did with this here effect. But they keep using these kind of... I don't even know what this is called. It's almost like manga panels or graphic novel panels. Right? Where they go... Transition from this. Nice asa. Nice legs. And then... Yeah, they add another shot in basically another frame. And then another one here. Also, I just noticed, I didn't know that her shoes are furred like this. That's an interesting contrast. Because Yanfei is one of the least dressed characters in the game. She has a completely bare midriff, which I don't think any other character has that, actually. But at the same time, she wears fur on her shoes. Oh, I like that here, where she looks up from her book and it slides up here on the left. Whoop. Yeah, exact same shot. Now, the thing I will say... Oh, and there's another swipe transition here. Oh, this is interesting. They used the double swipe transition. Look at that. They used this woman and Yanfei as the guiding lines for the transition for a new shot. I did not notice that the first time. Okay. Wow, that's interesting. I did not catch that. Qiqi's off. Yeah, she kinda is, huh? She was in Ganyu's trailer and Hutao's and now hers. I do like her very low voice, Japanese voice, a lot. I like the contrast that it has with her much younger looking face. Because I think she's meant to kind of evoke a sort of an adult mood. So it's gonna be between an A and an S. I guess I'll give it a low S. Let's give it above Keqing. Because it is fairly simplistic. But at the same time, I do appreciate a lot of the effects they used. Alright, Kazuha, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna give a double S. But let's watch it again, because it's a very good one. Like it too. Yeah, I think for a 4-star character demo, Yanfei's is one of the better ones. I love the way this one begins. So, actually, I kind of want to watch that again. Because when I see this, this to me looks like it's multiple arrows. Also, if we look at it on a frame-by-frame basis, we can see that there's nobody who could have shot that arrow. Well, it clearly came from here. There's nobody there. Okay, there's one arrow, right? And then a second one. Yeah, there are multiple arrows. And then, is there a third one? And then the camera... Oh, and then yet another one. So I don't quite get that, because after this, we only see this one arrow. Where are the other two arrows? either they missed and they landed in the water or something, or they just disappeared. I would have thought the other two were going the same way. Okay. I'm not a huge fan of this transition. Very smooth, but not a whole lot to write home about. The music's not quite my thing, but it works well. I think it has a nice sound to it. It's a bit of hip-hop, I think. Oh, that shot. Beautiful. Beautiful transition. Going from a silhouette with the sun in the back, the character is dark, to basically, as soon as he completely sheathes his sword. Yeah, we see a flash as he sheathes his sword. And then immediately, it's more like, with this image, it almost feels more like that's the moon in the background. Great transition. And then now it's kind of evoking some Akira Kurosawa style vibes, I would say. Yeah, that's kind of the sense that I get. It's going for two black and white, kind of film grain. And then there's a bit of a twist here. It looks like he's gonna fight Beidou, but actually this is him and Beidou teaming up together. I do wish we saw more of his burst. We only see a very, very brief glimpse of his burst here at the end. I guess we see a couple glimpses. And I'd also like how that does set up the story of how he joined Beidou and his crew. Low triple S for you. I don't... So for me, I think I'll have to place it a little below... Kind of Ganyu level for me. I'll give it one above Ganyu. So a lot of double S's. Yoimiya. Yoimiya, it's... That one, this one's going to be a bit hard for me to decide. It's going to be a high-ranking one, though. The music, though. Music's perfect for her. It's got this whimsiness, fun, bounciness. And then here. Just listen to that. I think they're using Japanese instruments. It's just... And then... Okay, one thing I love about this here is, up to this point, this was the only real effect that they used, right? It's a transition from the 3D model to the 2D image. You can see right here, you can see her bandage. They don't show the bandage as much in the actual image. And then, so that's the, and we see that. But from then on, we think this is going to be just kind of a regular trailer. We see regular images of her in-game. But no, now we see these words. I don't know what they mean. They must be Japanese. And now we're blasted with these effects where we see these 2D images showing up. Also, I never really got a good look at these 2D images before. Let's see how they are. So we see a one of these guys. Oh, he already has a bow or an arrow stuck to him. And she's... Oh, right. Yoimiya does switch from lefty to righty freely when she uses the bow, which is an interesting touch. I think she's mainly supposed to be a righty, but you can shoot with both sides. She's wielding it like a lefty here. Nice touch. And then again here, now she's wielding the bow like a righty, and we get two more pictures. This one's really cute. She's got a nice little expression. This one too, actually, but I like the one here quite a lot. Now watch this. This is at about 50 seconds in, right? Look at how long they take for this fireworks display. That's an interesting choice. I'm not sure why they did it this way. Usually, so these two characters, Yoimiya is supposed to be on the left, the bad guy's supposed to be on the right. Usually if they were to show this, they would show Yoimiya on the left side of the screen with the fireworks on her right, and the bad guy on the right side of the screen with the fireworks on his left, but they shifted it. I'm not sure what to think about that. It's an odd decision. Fireworks are beautiful as always. Now watch, it's been almost 30 full seconds since the fireworks began, basically. Out of a 2-minute trailer, they took out 30 seconds just for that. Which I really respect. Now the ending here, Sayu coming out of nowhere feels a little bit random. And it's not completely clear what's going on.
ただ改心したいっちゅうんならおどけながら子供たちの前で鬼のふりして花火大会を盛り上げてくれたら見逃してやってもよいみやもうとっくに行っちゃったよはうちの話最後まで
And then that finisher which lets us know that she's a garrulous person. She won't stop talking. So that one's gonna be between a double S and a triple S. It's around the same level as Hutao. I'll give it one level, a little bit above Hutao's, but it's almost a tie, to be honest. They're both really good. They're both really good.
Recon confirms.
Oh, okay, this is English. That's fine. Let's listen to Lily Pichu. She's got a good voice. Oh yeah, I like the effects here. The music's also kind of on point, I think, for both the voice and the character style. Not much of a transition there, right? Like, he's readying some sort of ninjutsu move, and then what? It's just the image. It's not quite the same, so not much in terms of the transition. That said, as a 4-star character demo, this one's pretty solid. God, she's so adorable though. The way they designed her with that hoodie. That hoodie, man. And then we get to see the Sonic the Hedgehog ocean. Oh, we need more Sonic style characters like that. Alright, fairly straightforward, simple, not much of a story. That's gonna have to be, I guess, a low A or a high B. Still, it had enough effects. Now Raiden Shogun is the one that's gonna take the top. Right now, it's gonna take a lot to beat that. But let's take this. This one just has everything. Amazing editing, amazing character design, and music is just incredible. It's even better than Zhongli's in my opinion. It's just stupid good. This shot right here, this gets me. How often do you see people see camera work like this? I've never seen a shot like this in a movie or a TV show, going fully upside down over somebody's head and then going down into the ground. And all the while, Yamiko's building up this character. The music is building up, and then... Oh god, yeah. And the tune here. I'm just gonna let this play for a bit, but it's like words can't describe just how sublime this whole thing is. The music with just they use a lot of purple filters, a lot of what feels like electric effects, which obviously she's the Electro Archon. That's what you want. And all the while, they're also hinting at her story. If you don't know while you're watching, you think it's like there are two sides of her, or she has a second persona, something like that. But, well, you know, you find out later she has a twin, or she had a twin. Yeah, and here you got this drum beat that it's just like everything is very wild, fast happening, a lot of action. And then with that, we see kind of a reprieve. All the energy goes away and everything's soft again. It's a bit too much for you? I could see that. It's almost like they should have a seizure warning at the beginning. Because there's so many flashing lights and all that. But here, this moment here to me really sells it. Right here, all the way from... Oh, look at that. I didn't really notice that first too. So this is her Unlimited Blade Works area, right? Her Plane of Euthymia. As she zooms out, we see the sword blend in. Yeah, I didn't notice that at first, that as you zoom out, it's the sword, which makes perfect sense, because when she uses the sword, she's actually pulling out, I don't know, herself or something from the Plane of Euthymia. So her sword is the connection to the Plane of Euthymia. And then we see the sword. So it gets the sense that she's pulling the sword from herself while she's meditating in her Plane of Euthymia, which is exactly what she does when you play the game. And then the transition here, where the whole thing explodes. You can see how powerful she is, and you see kind of this eye opening, right? Yeah, this opening eye. And then the way they do the reveal of the actual 2D image, the way they bring her up from the bottom, one thing I noticed was that there is animation, of course, in all of these, and they purposefully animate it so that she is pulling the sword out while she's moving up. It's not just an illusion of the effect. They are animating it. But the way the arm here blends in kind of to the background makes it so that you first notice the sword and the hand before you notice the arm. So it almost feels like the sword is just moving out by itself. You almost want to see C2 Baal now? Huh. What does C2 do anyway? I know all the constellations help her, of course. But yeah, that one's number one easily for me. It's like... Oh man, it's like what Zhongli's trailer did to all the other trailers, Raiden's trailer did up to that point, in my opinion. It's just so good. Alright. Kujou Sara. We're getting close to the end. I don't remember hers that well, to be honest. It's only a minute long. So we get to see her as the disciplined general that she is. Camera over her domain, sort of, her armies. Oh, 60% of her defense with the burst. Oh, nice. So yeah, that really must help her become a DPS. Yeah, so okay, so the camera work in this trailer, you can see there's a lot of motion. And I've noticed that almost all the 4-star demos have this going on. A lot of camera motion. Yanfei's trailer had it, Rosaria's trailer had it, Diona's trailer had it to an extent. But the camera's basically never standing still. That's a good transition there. I wonder, where does it actually transition? Oh, they use a swipe to cover the transition. Very fast. but it works. It goes along with the motion of her arm. We see her basic auto attacks. Her E, allowing her to dodge and teleport. Her E with the buff. And then her burst with her wings. And the music here is very reminiscent of Raiden Shogun's trailer. Best 4-star trailer in your opinion? I don't know about that. It's good. I don't think I'd say it's the best. Yeah. This one's kind of hard to place. Pretty simple, like all the 4 stars. I think I'll place it just below Xinyan's. It's close. I like Xinyan's for the various imagery that they did. But yeah, as much as I like Kujou Sara, I feel like there's not a whole lot there in that demo. Right. Kokomi. Her voice is quite nice, Japanese. Kokomi's trailer is definitely very good, I recall. It's like, this is all very abstract, right? She's not literally swimming in water. And you can't even swim in water in the game. But they're letting us know that her design is all about water, fish, and free-flowing motion, water, yeah. And the way her animations go... Oh, nice transition. And again, another very abstract shot here, looking at the stars, in a plane of what looks like just the sea. So they're drawing a parallel between the sea and the ocean, and well, obviously sea and the ocean are the same thing. The sea and the stars, which is a fairly common parallel people make. Oh. So... Interesting choice. They ended it on a zoom into her eye. Yeah. They're really focusing heavily on her being really one with the sea, maybe. Something like that. And I also noticed, I believe these animations are not from the game. Well, some of them are, but these are, but these where she hits the slime, right? Or right. Yeah, I feel like this animation's not from the game. I don't think she has these melee attacks where she hits enemies. That's a strange choice. Yeah, it's like the slimes are jumping at her and she's slapping them away. Unless that's what her auto attacks look like when she uses her catalyst, I don't know. Anyway, that's a great character demo, but the music it's just a tier below a lot of the others. So I'm gonna place it... it's above Venti, but the music's good, but it's just not very memorable. The effects really sell it well. It's somewhere in the same level as Ganyu and Albedo. I'll put her here just because she has such... The visuals really are great. Between Ganyu and Albedo for you? Yeah, I'd say that's pretty reasonable. Now, Aloy. Now, before I do this, I want to kind of share this guy's reaction to Aloy's trailer, because this is, again, a guy who's never played Genshin, who did not know what anything, and he's just going in blind watching all these trailers.
Oh, I am still confused as to whether she is a playable character.
Oh, he's talking about Raiden. He's not sure because they did, you know, he hasn't seen the Raiden trailer yet. But, yeah.
Oh god, this is intense. Okay. Next character demo for Aloy, Otherworldly Hunter. Wait, what? Aloy's the name of the cool.
Aloy here. I don't know this world.
No
my
way.
arrows are sharp and my bow's ready.
Wait, how did
Your
they get
party
Aloy?
needs help.
You can
I'll
see his
do what I
mind
can.
being blown in real time right there. Like, look at his face.
Sharp and my
That was my exact reaction when I saw on Twitter. I kind of wish I could have had this experience
Wait,
of
how do
watching
you
her
get Aloy?
trailer.
help. I'll do what I can. This land has a past full of secrets, just like my world.
Because, yeah, just can you imagine seeing that trailer at first and not knowing what to expect? Because, yeah, knowing Aloy's name, but having no idea that she'd be in the game. Yunjin, Ningguang, and Chang'an. Oh, really? Okay, all Liyue characters. Well, I could use more copies of Ningguang and Chang'an, even though I don't use them. So that'll be good. Okay. That's a decent... Oh shit, I just realized. Aloy's one of the few 5-star characters who has a demo but it only gets 1 minute. She doesn't get a full 2-minute demo, even though she's a 5-star. So unfortunately, I do think they were kind of hampered by the fact that Aloy's not integrated into the game as a character in the story at all. She just enters out of nowhere, and so the trailer ends up being kind of plain. We see a bunch of enemies with some settings and her attacks, but there's not a whole lot fancy there. Not a whole lot of story. Chang'an is here for... Oh yeah, that makes sense with Shenhe. And Ningguang for the skin, indeed. Yes, at the end of the day, anyone can get them for free, right? As long as they do the event. But I hope I get more copies of all of them, particularly Yunjin. That first copy. Ah, the music here. Music's... it's grown on me. It's quite solid.
俺は稲妻で生まれ育ったわけじゃなく、モンドから船に乗って稲妻に来たんだ。モンド人よりも稲妻人の方が礼儀に対して気を配っている。
How much do I plan to spend on her? You mean Shenhe's banner? I'm gonna pull into pity. Just one pity. That's basically gonna be it. Oh shit, I just noticed another swipe transition. Huh. Mihoyo really likes to do this. I did not notice this one either. Yeah, you can see that they're doing a swipe with the... this guy. Yeah. I think the music really grew on me after I heard a mix. Somebody made a mix of it where they mixed this one and Yoimiya's music together. Okay, the music sells it. So here it's like he's protecting these doggos. I kind of wish we got to see Ayaka on his trailer. Just like how he appeared in Ayaka's. Nice little effects. So here's one thing. When I first listened to this tune, I couldn't help but think that this reminds me... Oh, this is my YouTube studio. I couldn't help but think that it reminded me of a certain song called Running in the 90s. So you can see the sort of the main melody of this goes. Here. Yeah, that's the main melody. He likes animals and dogs. Oh, his hangout? Okay, I still need to do his hangout. Of course, we know that he has a doggo friend at the tea house, right? So it goes do 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 do, which to me sounds a lot like running in the 90s. Whoa, this song's pretty trippy. So this part doesn't quite sound, although. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. That's Toma's. Whereas this goes. Huh. I wonder if the composer here was inspired by this song. There's definitely some similarities to it. Yeah, I need to do all the male hangouts. I only started with Chongyun's before female hangouts came. More female hangouts came. Okay, where's the chorus? Yeah, there he goes. Do 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 do. Running in the 90s. Yeah, it sounds very similar to me. Actually, this one might be up there as one of the best 4-star trailers. I would still rank it below Yanfei's. It has good music though. It has really good music. Let's give it a low S. Alright, we're down to the last two. Unfortunately, Shenhe and Yunjin don't have their character demos yet. Oh wait, this one's gonna have... Oh, well, the first one's the Japanese. I like how this one tells a story. Okay, and then we go to a flashback, right? The basic. It's kind of too bad his weapon doesn't look like that. I kind of wish he got an Oni club instead of, well, that weapon, which is a claymore. We already have a club, debate club, so they could have given us a 5-star club style weapon. And I actually really like this music. It feels very American actually, kind of jazzish, not jazz per se. Which, the strange thing though is that they also mix in some Japanese sounds. Just like a really, yeah, right there. Oh god, that moment right there, it really sells it. Oh, the brass there, it's so good. It's so clean. And it has these kind of odd effects. And then we see Kujou Sara. It's too bad we don't get to see the actual fight. I want to see Kujou Sara bullying Itto. That'll be so much fun. In the English dub, he actually hits on her there, which fits his character quite well. And then we see kind of what a goof he is too, right? Also, I believe that is supposed to be the fake Pyrovision that we had in the Yoimiya quest, I believe. Or was it not Yoimiya, but is it Ayaka's quest? Sarah probably stepped on, yeah, with those clogs, right? Yeah, speaking of which, I do notice on this trailer they showed the. I mean, it's not like they purposefully focus on the feet, but here you see a. Where is it? I feel like we saw him before the fight.
お前ら参しただけでこの俺様の神の目を奪えるとでも新たきギュイが独尊一と
Wait, no, that's not. Where was it? I recall distinctly that there was a close-up of his foot.
お前ら参しただけでこの俺様の神の目を奪えるとでも
I guess not. Oh, this must be it. So he's surrounded by 5 enemies, but he does have that buff up. So yeah, you can see a close-up here to his feet. And then to the enemy's feet too. And then when Kujou Sara enters, she enters feet first. We can see her just... Oh man, what incredible sense of balance must she have. Alright, so this is quite good, but I still think it's below... I'm gonna place it above Kazuha's. It's very similar to Kazuha's, actually. I like the music a little bit better. I like the visuals a little less. But yeah, I think overall I still like Xiao's better, because Xiao's has that tone that's just so perfect for him. You like it better than Xiao? Okay. Right, let's look at Gorou, last one. Oh, also, you gotta love that. Pay close attention to his ears. Right here, even in the wide shot here, you can see his ears wiggling. It's perfect for a dog boy like him. So here it's meant to look kind of like he and the Traveler are teaming up. I guess it's kind of like Xinyan's a lot. Not like this transition. I don't like it. The transition, I wish they had gone for something more like where we see the same shot beforehand. But no, they went for where he's jumping down and it's like he landed and now we get to see. Yeah, I don't quite like the transition. Music, though. Oh, the cute doggo. You know, this actually vaguely reminds me of Ganyu's trailer. Music's obviously different, but there's a similar feel to it. And the way that we have all these rotating cameras. Yeah, I think the effects on the trailer are pretty solid. But yeah, we don't get much of a story with him. Use the new set on Albedo sword on Geo Traveler. Gorou can be a good partner for him. What, you mean the new defense set? But isn't the new sword bad on Geo Traveler? Because I don't think Geo Traveler scales off defense, right? So this one's actually somewhere between Toma and Diona. Yeah, I think it's under Toma. Let's give him an S. Why not? Okay, there it is. That's my official up to this point tier list for all the Genshin Impact character demos. I guess push come to shove, if I had to rebalance a bit, you can see it's really heavy on the double S. Would I be okay with pushing Venti down to S? I don't know, I don't think so. I would be okay with pushing these two up to double S. But to be honest, I think they both still belong in the, or triple S, sorry. I think they both belong in the at the top of the double S range. Oh, you have to log in? Alright, well, let's save it. Whatever, I'll rename it another time. But yeah, let's see. Nothing more for Gorou? Yeah, well, I think I'm okay to give him an S. But it's actually a tough decision between an S and an A. They're pretty close. So we got Raiden, Shogun, Zhongli, and Ayaka as the top 3, which comes to no surprise to me. And Eula and Klee along with them at the top. We got all these. I'm actually surprised that I placed Itto so highly, but his trailer turned out to be better than I remembered. The music, along with, like, in particular this part right here, when we see his burst. Yeah, right here, the build-up. There. Do, 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 do. It's so good. And then his burst, or his charge attack animation is just fantastic too. And we see both versions too, right? And Fischl, I guess, ended up being the highest just of the 4 stars because she is kind of the most distinctive in a way. And at the bottom are these Kaeya, Xiangling, Mona, and Aloy. Unsurprisingly, 3 out of the 4 their trailers were released very early on. And Aloy's, it's because she's not actually a character from the game and has basically no lore. But okay, let's go back to Genshin, and I'm gonna do some Beto Hangout.